Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today. My name is Melissa, and I'm here to lead you through all levels yoga. We are going to practice for 45 minutes today. So just a reminder to listen to your body through class. If any of the stretches do not work for you, please skip them, come out modified. Not every pose works for every person. So as we go through class today, I was thinking we could do a really nice focus on the full body. We'll spend a little extra time working with our lower body. So we're going to work with our hips. We're going to work with our legs a little bit more, which will be really great if you feel like you've been sitting a lot through the day. You might feel a little tight there in the hips and the legs. Maybe legs are a little fatigued. So it'll be a really nice practice to revitalize, re-energize the body, relax the mind, relax the body as well. So as we get started, I wanted to share a little poem that I came across. I thought it ties in really nicely to the yoga practice. Has a little bit to do with, self-care and self-love. I think as we go through life, we all have so many different responsibilities and just pulled in so many different directions. And the yoga practice can be a nice opportunity to just take a step back and to give back to yourself. And personally, I find when I'm feeling a little depleted in life, but then I do those self-care things, I'm able to enter those situations back with, just more energy and just a better outlook and things like that. So it can be very good to nourish the soul a bit. You've got to take care of yourself, and not just once in a while or when you realize how desperately you need it, but every single day. Taking care of yourself doesn't have to mean fancy bath masks or face masks. It doesn't have to mean traveling far or turning your whole world upside down. It certainly can, but everyone is different. Truly taking care of yourself simply means nourishing your mind and body and spirit in ways that work for you. It means finding a balance within your everyday life that allows you to do the things you love and feel at peace. It means nourishing yourself within so that you're able to take that out into the world. I thought that was so beautiful. Thought it ties in nicely to class too. So as we get started, I'd love to do standing centering today. So if you would like to join me, we're going to start up in mountain in Tadasana. So you can just come on up to the top of your yoga mat, have your feet plugged right down so that they're in line with your hips. Sometimes we have our feet a little bit too wide. So it's really just where those hip joints are and come down. And a fun way to find that sometimes is just to do a little jump up and then land. And almost like magic, your feet always land exactly in line with your hips. So you can give that a try. Also, sometimes they say taking two fists and putting them together, and that tends to be about the average distance as well. So let's take a moment here to roll through the shoulders a few times just to release any tension you might be holding onto in the shoulders. And when you find that third circle at the end of that, we can just relax our shoulders down. Close your eyes. We'll do a centering here. So this is a nice opportunity to release the day so far. Just to drop into your body and to the yoga practice. Feel very grounded in your feet. You might want to press through the insides and the outsides of your feet. Maybe lifting your 10 toes from the mat and then slowly placing the toes down just one at a time. And then just getting that really nice, strong, grounded connection here. Invite a gentle bend into the knees just to engage some more muscles. We don't want to ever lock our knees out. That's not a great thing to do for our body. So a little gentle micro bend can be nice. And a little tuck of our tailbone. So if you feel like you're arching your low back, maybe engage your core. So we feel a little sensation of the pelvis shifting forward a little bit and our navel scooping back and up to the spine slightly. Elongate your spine, shoulders over hips, shoulders relax. Take a neutral spine and then lengthen through the back of your neck and reach through the crown of your head. Working with the breathing exercise with the hands as well. So for this exercise, let's take our palms up. We'll have them at about where the navel is. Take a deep breath into your stomach and your ribs. And now we're going to take the breath to the chest. And as we're breathing, our hands are floating up. Palms can face down. And on exhale, let's take it down from our chest, our ribs, our stomach. Palms can float up. Let's breathe. Stomach, ribs, chest. Palms face down. Let's release from our chest, ribs, stomach. Breathe this breath at your own pace. So this is a really nice breathing technique. Anytime we link breath and movement, it can help us drop into the present moment, help us drop into our body and our breath. Hands can come into the heart in prayer. This will bring us into Anjali Mudra. Take a moment to set an intention for your time on the yoga mat today, and that might be anything. Connecting us back to that poem. Maybe this will be 45 minutes dedicated to self-care, to self-love, to restoring the mind and body. Take inhale here. Hands will reach and stretch up to the sky. Fingers will interlock and palms will press up. So let's draw those palms right on up. Nice full breath here to lengthen. Release your hands to the right and to the left. So we're just going to take a nice little wiggle here in the waist side to side. And each time that you move here, try to reach and stretch up and out of the waist. So really try to lengthen here. We want to lengthen on in-breath and lengthen on the out-breath. Let's bring our hands to the right. We'll pause here. Maybe feel your left hip press to the left. Create a C curve in the spine here. And bring yourself back to center. Nice full breath here to lengthen. Let's take the hands to the left. Try to get nice and grounded through both of your feet. So we don't want to press through one foot and then get really light in the other foot. We're going to bring ourselves back to center, releasing the hands behind the body, coming into a yoga mudra stretch. So if this one is new for you, we'll take our palms together, fingers are interlocking, and maybe imagining that you could squeeze a marble and hold it there in between the shoulder blades. Let's come on down to a fold on exhale. This will take us into a devotional forward fold. Arms, let them bring along your back or release them away from the back body. So you have a couple of options here. And try to relax your head. Maybe look towards your navel and just really relax through the head and relax through the neck. Hands can float onto your low back. Hands can float down towards the ground. And let's shake it out a little bit here. Bend one knee and bend the other knee. Shake your head yes and shake your head no. As you find stillness here, let's walk those hands to the right. We'll give a little stretch here for the legs, side stretch in the legs. Reach from the right waist, lengthen through the side body, through the arm, through the fingertips. Bring yourself back to center. Let's bring the hands to the other side. Reach and stretch from the waist, lengthen through the side body, through the arm, through the fingertips. Bring yourselves back to the center. Right foot will take a step back. That will bring us into a runner's lunge. Right knee will lower and begin to bend and straighten your front leg. Now, if you'd like to use props to modify practice, you may want to have a blanket supporting that right knee. And you can also take your hands on blocks. That can be a nice support as well. And the most important alignment cue on this stretch is to make sure that your left knee doesn't extend past your left ankle. So we want to feel that our knee and our ankle are in the same line. Knee can be behind the ankle, but we just don't want it to float too far forward here. Let's give ourselves a moment to straighten the front leg and fold yourself over. So this takes us into that variation of a knee down runner stretch. Just let our spine relax. Try to relax your head and try to relax through the neck. Bending into your left knee. Let's take that left hand up on exhale, twist it out. This is bringing us into a knee down twist. And then as you're twisting here, feel your spine lengthen on the in-breath. And then allow for your twist to deepen on the out-breath. Let's bring our hand down. We're going to take our left knee to meet our right knee, floating into a table position. Let's work with cat dog here. Lower your stomach, lift up through the heart. Tailbone will lower and crown of the head will lower. And let's just flow through a few more rounds here of this nice spinal movement. Lengthening, inhale. Lengthening, exhale. As you inhale, feel your shoulders relax from the ears. So create a little space here between the ears and the shoulders. Feel the shoulder blades moving down your back. And then on the exhale, rounding the back body. So imagine creating space between the shoulder blades. Let's bring ourselves back to a neutral spine here. Right foot will take a big step up in between the hands. You can step it forward. If you need to give a little assistance, feel free to hold on with that right hand and guide it forward. Now let's take that opportunity to bend and straighten the front leg. And this is a really nice flow for the hips. So we'll get into our low back. We're working with those hips, the legs. We get into our quad, hip flexor, and psoas. So lots of benefits to this little hip flow. Great. Let's take that opportunity, straighten the front leg. Let's fold it over. Right knee bends, right hand to the sky and twist. And then as you're twisting here, try to feel the shoulders stacking and opening, shoulders in line, and wrists are in the same line. Let's bring it down. We're gonna come into a forward fold from here. We'll take our left foot to meet our right foot, coming into forward fold. Let's bring ourselves to a half lift. Lift the spine and lengthen the spine. Fold yourself down. We'll rise up. Full breath in. And hands at the heart as you exhale. So I'd love to work with a round of the knee sun salutation A's. And these are really great, especially for getting into those lower legs here. So we can get a really nice quad stretch. Also really good for hip flexor and psoas. These muscles tend to shorten when we're sitting. So I'll give them a nice little stretch. So let's come into the top of our mat. We'll start in that mountain Tadasana. Hands to the sky. Let's inhale. Core engages. Let's come on down to a fold on exhale. Bring yourself into a halfway lift. Plant your hands. Let's take that right foot back. Right knee will lower. Hands will reach to the sky as you inhale. So this takes us into knee down warrior, Anjali Asana. So something that I see sometimes is people will be up here a little bit. If you can, if it feels accessible, see if you can really sink those hips forward and down. So it's gonna really help to give you that nice stretch. Let's bring our hands down. Runner's lunge, plank, high push up. Knees can be up or down, whichever you prefer. And we'll take a reverse push up down to the mat. Coming into a Sphinx pose, so gliding your hands out in front, elbows in line with your shoulders. Maybe reach here for opposite arms, hands can float out. And let's begin to breathe here. So this is going to be that nice low back bend. Feel free to stay where you're at for more. Hands pressed down, elbows up, elbows can wrap in towards one another. Arms can straighten if you want to bring it into seal. Let's try to reach and stretch through the crown of the head. So you have 3 options here. One can figure out what feels best in their body. We're going to come down to the ground. Let's take a nice full breath in here. Let's press it up. We're going to float back on through into a downward facing dog. Now, our first down dog of the yoga practice. Shake it out a little bit here. Maybe bend one knee and bend the other knee. Maybe relax your head, yes. And relax through the head, no. So in down dog, we want to find an upside down V shape in our body. This one is such a nice pose because it's a gentle inversion, head below the heart. So just reversing that flow of blood and reversing that flow of gravity a little bit. Let's come to stillness. We'll take our right leg up. This brings us into a 3-limbed dog. Right foot steps forward. Left knee will lower. Hands will reach up. Let's take a nice inhale. Back through. Knee down warrior, Anjane Asana. So I know before I shared, sometimes we're up here. So we are going to drop those hips forward. But when we do this, we want to be very mindful of our right knee. We want to feel that our knee and our ankle are in the same line. Sometimes that knee will be pressing too far forward and that can put a little pressure on the knee. So if that's happening for you, you'll just inch those toes forward a little bit more. Let's come on down. We're going to bring it into a forward fold from here. So left foot meets right. Take yourself to a half lift. Fold yourself down. Let's bring it up. We'll rise, finding mountain Tadasana. And hands at your heart on the exhale. So that was one side. Let's try the other side. We'll complete a full sun salutation A with the knee down. So hands up. We're going to come down to fold. Bring yourself to your halfway lift. Plant your hands. Left foot comes back this time. Left knee will lower. Let's bring our hands up on the inhale. And then as you're here, let's encourage that left hip to come forward a little bit. Right hip draws back slightly. Hands come down. Let's bring ourselves into a runner's lunge. Back through to plank. Knees up or knees down. Let's take a variation of cobra here. So we'll reverse push up down to the mat. Take your hands underneath your body for this one. Hands will be in line with your shoulders. So fingertips in line with tops of shoulders, pinkies in line with deltoids. Glue the tops of your feet down. Pubic triangle glues down. And let's try to lift up to the navel. As you rise, let's hug our elbows into the sides of the body. Let the elbows run straight back. And almost create a little sensation like your hands could lift from the mat. And you could even try that out. Maybe lift the hands up, but you'll probably notice that the tops of the feet will want to lift as well. So really try to glue the tops of your feet down when you do this. This helps us get into our mid-back, which is a little bit of a trickier part of our back to strengthen. Let's come down. Take a full breath. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg, let's bring that right on up to the sky. 3. Dog. Left foot comes forward. Right knee will lower. We'll reach up. Inhale. Now check in. See if you can engage the core a little bit more. Let's feel our tailbone tuck and the navel back and up to the spine slightly. Hands are going to float down. Runner's lunge. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Mountain, rising up with your breath. Hands at the heart as you exhale. So let's take a moment. We're going to build on that. We'll try a full sun salutation A. We'll take our hands right on up to the sky as you inhale. Come on down, fold, exhale. Half lift here. Plant your hands, plank, high push up, knees up or down. This time, let's come into a pose called boat. So we'll work on strengthening our back a little differently. So coming all the way down to the mat. Back through to Yoga Mudra, hands behind your body. Fingers will interlock. Let's take our palms to touch. Breathing here, let's lift up. Legs lift and torso lifts. Try to open the chest and the heart. Try to relax your shoulders back and down. And breathing here. So we'll feel ourselves lift from the mat on the in-breath. And then we feel our body soften down on the out-breath. And then just feel how your body reacts to each breath. Let's bring ourselves down. We're going to fold and then press it back. Downward facing dog. Exhale. Float your feet forward. Let's take our toes to the hands and halfway lift. Forward fold. Rise up, breathe in. Hands at heart. Exhale. So let's build on that sun salutation A and we'll try a sun salutation B. So let's take our hands right on up to the sky for a nice inhale. We're going to hold this one for a moment. See if you can draw your shoulders away from your ears. See if those shoulder blades can glide down the back a bit more. Come into chair, Utkatasana. Weight is back into your heels, toes are light, and almost a feeling like your toes could lift from the mats. Come on down to a fold. When you're ready, hinge at the hips. Bring yourself to a halfway lift. Plant your hands and plank. Let's float it into that high push-up pose. Knees up or down. Let's come all the way down to the mat for a king cobra pose. So reverse push-up. Hands are underneath your shoulders and then walk your hands off to the sides of the mat. So maybe a foot on one side and a foot on the other side. You can be a little tented up onto the fingertips. Elbows can point to the sky, lifting up as high as you'd like. So in this one, you can keep a bend in the elbows. You can work on straightening the arms if you'd like. And for this one, if you want to make the stretch easier, walk your hands further away from your body. And if you want to make the stretch more challenging, walk your hands into your body, closer in. Let's float ourselves down to the mat. Take a nice full breath here. Let's press it back. Downward facing dog. Right leg, let's bring that up to the sky. Bend the knee, stack open through the hip. Reset yourself back, three-limb dog. Right foot comes forward, runner's lunge. Begin to bend and straighten your front leg. So this is similar to that movement we started class with. We're just gently building on it, making it a little bit more intense of a stretch. Now, if this is feeling very challenging, modify. Left knee can come down to the ground for support. Maybe have your hands on blocks, bringing the ground a little bit higher up. Straighten your front leg, fold yourself over. This will bring us into a runner stretch. Try to relax your head a little bit more here. See if you can gaze towards the navel. Let your head relax. Let your neck relax. Right knee bends. Right hand rises. Twist. And then as you're twisting here, really activate your left leg. Press firmly through the heel and firmly through the back of the knee. Let's begin to lower the hand down. Core engages. Let's try warrior 3 from here. So we're going to spring off that left foot to come forward. Now in warrior 3, this is our balancing warrior. Find a drishti. Find one spot to focus your concentration, to focus your awareness. And once you find that spot, not letting the eye shift at all. From here, let's come into crescent warrior. So we'll take that left foot back. Left heel is lifted and hands will reach to the sky. Now in our crescent warrior, let's see if we can relax our shoulders from the ears a little bit more. Springing off of that left foot, let's come back through. We'll try warrior 3 pose. As you align here, feel very grounded in the right foot. Press through the inside, through the outside. And notice your body's natural tendency, if you tend to roll in or tend to roll out. Warrior 1 from here. Left foot back. Left heel grounds down. Hands reach up. Now this one is a little different because the back heel is rooted and grounded down. Let's try for a little side stretch here. So fingers will interlock, then we'll release our index fingers for steeple. Take a full breath here to lengthen. Sweep your hands to the left when you're ready. And then try to roll that left shoulder under and try to roll your right shoulder back a little bit. Back through to center. Let's realign here, zipping up the core, lengthen. Let's sweep our hands to the right. Try to feel that left hip come forward and right hip draws back slightly. Let's bring ourselves back through to center. We're gonna come on down. Let's bring it to our runner's lunge. Float yourself into plank, high push-up pose. Knees up or down. Let's work with our upward facing dog here, chaturanga. Up dog. Holding your upward facing dog. Look off your right shoulder. Look back for your right toes. And back to center, lengthen. Gaze off your left shoulder. Back to center, let's lengthen. Full breath here. We're gonna lift it up. Downward facing dog. Left leg, let's bring that one up. Bend the knee. Stack, open through the hips. And then reset your hips. Square them down to the mat. Float your foot through. Runner's lunge. Bend and straighten your front leg. And then as you're working with the stretches here, just notice if the stretch feels very similar on the side of the body compared to that first side that we worked on, maybe feels a little more intense or a little easier. One of the most wonderful gifts that yoga gives us is that mind-body connection. So just becoming a little bit more mindful, a little bit more aware of our body. Left leg straightens, fold it over, runner stretch. Intensify the stretch if you'd like. Right hip can come forward and left hip can draw back slightly. Left knee bends, left hand rises, twist. And then as you're twisting here, see if you can roll the left shoulder back a little bit. Right shoulder comes under slightly. Left hand down, come on forward, warrior 3 pose. And in warrior 3, there's a lot of different options with the hands. So maybe you have your hands at the heart space in prayer. Maybe arms alongside your body, palms face down. Maybe hands reach and stretch out in front of you. Let's come on back. We're going to take it to a crescent warrior. So a nice deep bend in the front knee, hands reach to the sky. Now the warriors are nice because you can always modify, maybe make them more intense or easier. So for more intense, bend deeper into the front knee, have a wider stance between your front foot and back foot. And then making it easier, you can straighten out that front leg a bit and you can shorten the stance between front and back foot. Warrior 3, let's bring it forward. And maybe imagine that you could balance a block on your low back. So maybe roll that right hip down a little bit, evening off your hips and evening off the low back here. Warrior 1, right foot back, right heel lowers. Again, just like that crescent, you can definitely modify. You can have more distance between the feet. You can bend deeper into the front knee. Let's try a little side stretch here. Fingers interlock, palms touch. Release your index fingers. Lengthen. Release to the right. And then feel that sensation that your left hand is getting pulled to the right. It's almost like that right hand can kind of draw you up to the right a little bit more. Let's bring ourselves back through to center. Let's lengthen. We're going to take our hands to the other side. And release. Let's put ourselves back through to center. Hands to the sky. Let's bring it down. Runner's lunge. Float yourself into plank. High push-up. We're going to take it back through that up dog, holding for a moment so knees can lower. Chaturanga. We'll take up dog here. Gaze off your left shoulder. See if that gives you a little bit more stretch. Sometimes a little more stretch in front of the hips. Back to center. Gaze off the opposite shoulder. Back to center. Let's lift it up. Down dog. Exhale. Toes to the hands. Bring it through. Forward fold. Halfway lift. And fold. Chair pose. So wrapping up that sun salutation B, just where we began. So knees are bending, hips are dropping back and down. Back through to stand. We'll come to mountain and hands at the heart on the exhale. And just pausing here for a moment. So maybe close your eyes and just simply connect here with your breath. Connect here with your body. Maybe hands at the heart space. You can always bring one hand to the heart, maybe one to the navel. Feel your body reacting to the breath. Feel your chest rise on in-breath, fall on the out-breath. Navel rises on in-breath, falls on out-breath. And just remembering each time that you breathe, you bring life and oxygen to all of the cells throughout your body. Hands will reach to the sky. Let's take a nice full inhale here. Come on down to fold, exhale. Bring yourself into your halfway lift. Plant your hands, plank, high push up. Knees up or down, and let's come all the way down to the mat. Now working a little bit with boat or bow pose. So boat, we tried that earlier. That's where legs lift, torso lifts, arms lift. We were in that yoga mudra for this one. So feel free to come into that again. If you'd like to intensify the back bend, begin to bend the knees, reach back for your feet. And then when you're ready, begin to kick the feet into the hands to come on up. So we'll inhale here. Really feel your body reacting to the breath. Feel yourself lifting up, rising with each breath. And then maybe on exhale, feel how the body finds a little bit of softness in the pose and in the stretch. Let's begin to lower down. Take a full breath here, pressing to a table position, tabletop. From table, feet to the right or the left, we're gonna bring it down to seated. From seated, let's come on down to our backs. Right leg, bring it up and over, find a figure four stretch here. Now hanging out here if you would like. If you would like more stretch, maybe reach for the back of your left leg. You can thread your arm through, so that right arm would thread in between the legs. Reach for the other hand. If you would like even more stretch, reach for the front of your left knee. And we're gonna be here for a moment. So maybe you create a little movement, a little rock to the right and the left. Maybe you find a little bit of softness here and stillness. Just knowing there's no right and no wrong, whatever feels right in your body in this moment. If you'd like to intensify this stretch, flex your right foot. Another way to intensify the stretch is to press the right knee away from the face. So you can put your hand into the knee to press it away, or just energetically sending it away from the face. And from here, let's begin to release, and we'll try that on the other side. Left leg comes up and over. Figure 4 here. Foot on the ground. Reach for the back of the leg or the front of the leg. Maybe find stillness. Maybe rock around a little side to side. Many times when we work with the hips in yoga, doing those hip openers, one hip tends to be more open than the other one. So maybe notice that. Maybe the stretch feels more intense on one side than the other side. Maybe it feels a little easier on the side, maybe a little bit more challenging now that you have that other side to compare to. And from here, let's begin to release. We're going to come on out. You can reach for your feet. We'll bring it into a happy baby stretch. Flex your feet, reach out through your heels, and maybe a little rock to the right and to the left. So nice little release here on that low back. Knees will come to the chest. Arms, hands around knees or shins, and begin to circle. Maybe find large circles, maybe find smaller circles here. And reverse. We'll flow in the other direction. Letting that go. Let's come into Shavasana. We'll take a little time to relax. Legs can relax, arms can relax. If you find that your low back is a little tender, maybe it pulls a little bit, that's normal sometimes when the legs are straight. Feel free to bend the knees and plant the feet. That's just an active rest pose, and it can really help to relax your back muscles. Just take some time here to close your eyes. Try to feel yourself relaxing with each exhale. Just for now, without asking how, let yourself sink into stillness. Just for now, lay down the weight you so patiently bear upon your shoulders. Feel the earth receive you, and the infinite expanse of sky grow even wider as your awareness reaches up to meet it. Just for now, allow a wave of breath to enliven your experience. Breathe out whatever blocks you from the truth. Just for now. Be boundless, free, awakened energy tingling in your hands and feet. Drink in the possibility of being who and what you really are, so fully alive that when you open your eyes, the world looks different, newly born and vibrant, just for now. Giving yourself a moment to be aware and notice how you feel. Feel your mind relax, calm, at ease. Feel your body aligned and balanced. Tension you may have come to class with, feeling how that has released through yoga and meditation and mindfulness. Making your way to your side, we'll come into a fetal position for a moment. Create a little pillow with the lower arm. Gently support the head. Feel your body. Take the shape of the pose. And then bringing yourself into seated when you're ready. Sitting in any way that feels comfortable for your body. Hands can come into the heart in prayer in Anjali Mudra. Be closing the eyes, gently bowing the head to the hands. We all come to yoga for vastly different reasons. To connect to our body, our breath, each other, a greater purpose, our community. We come to connect. Yoga in Sanskrit translates to union, to join. It pieces together that which was never actually separate. The light within me honors the light within you. Namaste. Namaste, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today. It's a pleasure to be here with you to guide you through the yoga practice. I hope that you enjoyed the practice. I hope that you have a wonderful day. And I look forward to seeing you soon. If you're interested, I'll be back teaching tomorrow at 3 o'clock East Coast time. I'll be teaching a mindful stretch class. So similar to maybe some stretches that we work with on the yoga mat, but just a little bit of a shorter format so that you can kind of squeeze that into your workday in the afternoon. Give yourself a nice little break. We'll see you soon. Take care.